Where is Pokemon Legends ZA? Pokemon Legends ZA? Pokemon Legends Zaza? Pokemon Legends, aka Pokemon Z, aka the part 3 to X and Y we never got but really needed? That's a great question. This has been the strangest hype cycle for Pokemon. Being that it's, I think, the first time in at least modern Pokemon history, not only that we did not get a game in a year, the last time we didn't get a game in a year was 2015 between Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and Sun and Moon. There was no big release in 2015, but at least in 2015, it's not like they announced the next Pokemon game for the following year. There was just nothing new Pokemon related in 2015. Now we know what the game for next year 2025 is, but it's a year later and we still have no idea what this game even is. There's a brief overview talking about it's going to take place in Lumio City, and that's about it. We have no gameplay, no nothing. It feels like, this stuff normally happens with like AAA titles. This is actually, for Pokemon, it's uncommon, but for a lot of other bigger games, like Grand Theft Auto 6, for example, Rockstar confirmed its existence over, I think, a year and a half ago, but we just got our first trailer a year ago. Now it's been a year since our first trailer, and it's not even coming out until 2025, right? And that's just one example that comes to the top of my head. But a lot of times with bigger games, there are these long waiting sessions. Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom, right? We knew there was a sequel to Breath of the Wild years before, but we didn't get it till a long time, right? So this is like commonplace in the game industry, but I find it interesting that Pokemon is actually, doing this, which is something a lot of people have been talking about in the Pokemon community about like especially after when Scarlet and Violet were released, how rushed those games felt because there were so many glitches. A lot of people were saying, can Game Freak just take a minute to develop this game? And I think they probably got a hint, especially with the backlash from Scarlet and Violet's release, which was just a glitchy mess. I didn't encounter any big glitches in Scarlet and Violet's release, but I know that quite a bit of people did. And so, yeah, just throwing all that out there, right? So that puts Pokemon Legends ZA in a very interesting position, because now that it has been over a year that we have not seen anything of this game, the first trailer has a huge amount of expectations, which makes me kind of nervous. Granted, the best recent Pokemon game that everyone really, really agrees on is like the best new gen Pokemon game is Legends Arceus. So a Legends Arceus type game flushed out more, I'm hyped for. But it's just when you look at the history of Pokemon, the last time they took a year off was from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire to Sun and Moon, and I do think there was a big, I'd say Sun and Moon felt like bigger than Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Granted, Sun and Moon was pushing the 3DS to its limits. That game ran like garbage, especially in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But it was a lot bigger. The visuals were better. And so I think Legends ZA clearly is releasing at the end of the Switch's life cycle. That it's probably going to push the current Switch to its limits, because that's what the last time Pokemon took a year off, that's what we got. So I'm thinking, like, everything points to Legends Arceus being a huge... Legends Arceus. Everything points to Legends ZA being a huge, huge game, and that gets me excited for it. I'm just slightly nervous because it is a Pokemon game. I always love Pokemon, but I'm nervous, like, performance-wise, if the Switch is going to be able to handle whatever Game Freak is cooking up. I'm giving Game Freak the benefit of the doubt. But I just think, it's they're cooking up something good, right? They're cooking up something good. And I get, like, it's just, all we have is speculation. We don't know what is what. And it's kind of wild that the first news we got about it was on Pokemon Day, and the next batch of news we're gonna get on it probably isn't until Pokemon Day, because we have like what, less than 15 days to the end of the year, and Pokemon Day is in February. So I would doubt that in January they would drop a trailer, unless they want to drop a trailer in January and then follow it up in February. Now that would be crazy. But I just think we're probably gonna just wait till Pokemon Day to hear something else, and that just makes me think this trailer. What I do hope though, if we're waiting a whole year for this, normally they save information for the next games. They save information for the next games to the end of the Pokemon Presents they have on Pokemon Day. Because it's been over a year, they need to dedicate a large portion of this Pokemon Presents to Legends ZA. Because it's been a freaking year. They need to dedicate a whole chunk of this to this game. And then hopefully they release it in spring. Hopefully they don't make us wait until winter to play this game, because then it's going to feel like damn near 2 years. So hopefully it's like a spring or summer release. Or an imminent release. Maybe they'll be like, Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be out next month in March. No, but I just think there is a lot that they're cooking up, and they don't want it to look bad. I think also because the first impressions trailer for Legends Arceus, BDSP, and Scarlet and Violet were kind of like, Scarlet and Violet, it was cool because it was an open world, right? But the frame rate didn't look that good. Specifically with Legend Arceus, that was the biggest complaint people had as soon as they first saw that game. The frame rate looked horrible. And then BDSP just looked garbage, right? So I think Game Freak also, in addition to wanting to cook with this game, I think it's also they really want optically this game to have a great first impression, which is why they're waiting till everything is optimized, right? Part of me wonders if there's voice acting in this game. I feel like maybe something that could have leaked out there if there was voice acting for this game, but that'd be big. But because part of me is wondering what would take so long. It made me think it's like they're translating to different regions. I know they got to do that with the words, but like if you're doing it with speech, I can imagine that would take even longer. And Pokemon Legends Arceus was like the first time we heard dialogue. It wasn't actual voice acting, but when your character got hurt, he'd go like something like that, right? So maybe they go all the way. Maybe they'll add like, maybe they'll add like a hey anytime someone pops up, right? Maybe it'll start with like something small, but that's my like tinfoil hat theory. Maybe voice acting, but anyway, I'm hyped for this game. I've rambled on enough. I just think we gotta sit back and be patient. I know as Pokemon fans, being patient isn't necessarily our thing, because we're used to like, a cycle. Every end of the year we have a new Pokemon game. So the fact that we don't makes 2024 feel very Pokemon-less. Well, we have Pokemon TCG Pocket, which is popping off. Honestly, it's probably the most popular Pokemon mobile game. I mean, Pokemon Masters was popular and Pokemon Go was popular, but like, it's between Pokemon Masters and Pokemon Go. It's not as popular as Pokemon Go, but it's more popular than Pokemon Masters. This is the most recent Pokemon app game that is doing well, so maybe that's what they're gonna use to hold us over. Anyway, yeah, I've talked about this enough. Subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Watch a Legends Arceus trailer get revealed as soon as I publish this video. Let's see. Peace.